Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a review and demo on the fairly new Covergirl Stay Luminous Outlast Foundation. That was wrong. Covergirl Outlast Stay Luminous Foundation. This is the bottle. I like the bottle. Glass, plastic cap. It has a pump for all of you people that need to have a pump. Girl, you got it in this foundation. It's pretty much identical to the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. Other than the colors, it's identical. This foundation is totally matte, while this one is a luminous, glowy foundation. On the back, it says it gives even coverage and a natural glow that lasts all day. And on the website, which I had prepared, but of course I closed it out. Hold on. It says, Outlast Stay Luminous Foundation's oil-free, non-greasy formula gives you a skin... I need glasses. Gives your skin a natural luminosity that lasts all day, perfect for achieving radiant skin. This all-day foundation hydrates skin while providing flawless coverage. Well, we'll get into my thoughts a little bit later, but this retails for $10.99 at the drugstores like Walgreens, CVS. I got mine at Target and it was about $9.99. Walmart, you know how Walmart has those weird prices. It's like $9.47. So pretty much $10 to $11 you're gonna pay for this foundation, which is pretty normal. A lot of drugstore foundations are between $10 and $12, so totally normal, and you get 1 fluid ounce. There are 7 colors, which is okay. It's not bad, but I mean 10 colors would have been a little bit better. I feel like there's a jump. It's like light and then dark and then like super dark. There could have been a better kind of color selection, in my opinion. Those are pretty much the facts. I'm gonna move on to the demo. So what I do, I just squeeze out probably a quarter of a full pump and then I start to dot it on my face. I do pretty much my whole face. I leave my forehead blank. I do that last. And then once I have all the dots, I just go in with my beauty blender and blend it all out. Now I do right now have a little pimple towards my chin. I have some hyperpigmentation which has already... I have some hyperpigmentation, which pretty much has been there for a very long time now. But yeah, I just blend it out, and I use beauty sponges all the time. I love them. But for this video, I figured I would show you what the foundation looked like applying it with a brush. So on my right side, I used it with a brush, and you know, I'm not a big brush fan for foundations because this is a very luminous, dewy foundation. It's gonna be thick, and usually all luminous dewy foundations, they're a little bit thicker. So with the brush, it just makes the foundation look way too thick on my face. And I also had issues blending it really well, like it was kind of streaky. I used the Sigma F80, which is usually pretty good, but for this foundation it was just a little bit too thick for me. So I ended up just using the beauty blender all over my face. It just looks nice because it's thick. It kind of lightens up the foundation a little bit, and it just looks a little bit better for me, and it doesn't look heavy. By the way, I forgot to mention, I am in the shade 820 Creamy Natural. I would say this foundation is medium coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage because you could still see some of my hyperpigmentation peeking through. You could still see my little pimple out there. So I would say medium, and because this foundation is so thick, I would not apply another layer. That would be just way too much. So if you want just a good medium coverage foundation, then this is pretty good for you. So once I had it all over my face, you know, my face did look a little bit more flawless. Like I said, there were some things peeking through, but it did overall look pretty good, and it was very luminous and glowy. And I'm the type of person that likes matte foundations, but this, it was glowy, but I really liked the way it looked. I thought it was really pretty. It wasn't over the top. It was just the perfect amount of glow. Now I did powder my face because there was no way, because it's thick, it starts off really tacky, and the tackiness dries up a little bit, but it's gonna be tacky throughout the whole day. You're gonna feel it on your face the whole entire day. Like, it never dries, and that can be uncomfortable, especially for me. I don't like the feeling of foundation on my face. Like, if a foundation is really heavy, like I'm like, nope, I'm not using that foundation. So this is really thick. You're gonna feel it throughout the day, which brings me to kind of my conclusion. I love the way it looks. It's good only for short periods of time. Like, I wore this once. I've worn this to work, which is very uncomfortable for me because I'm talking on the phone, I'm talking to people, I rest my hand on my face sometimes, which isn't good, but it just felt really uncomfortable. When I went to Vegas, I wore this to go out, and we were out for like 4 hours, and it was perfect. I love the way it looks. It photographs really, really well. And when I was out, I didn't really pay attention to it, and when I got home, I just wiped it off with a little makeup wipe and I was good to go. So short periods of time, I think this foundation would be great. I don't think there's any SPF, and if there is, it's not that much because my face wasn't white when I took a picture with flash. I would highly recommend powdering your face when you use this. I don't care if you have dry skin, like super duper dry skin, girl, powder your face. People with oily skin, even if you love glowy looks, I don't think you're gonna like this because it's just so thick. Unless you apply a generous amount of powder without looking powdery, then okay, but it's just so thick and it's luminous, but I just don't think it's gonna work out for you because if you're oily and the thickness is just not gonna look good. So this foundation is definitely better for people with normal to dry skin. One other thing I wanted to mention is it does settle a little tiny bit into my laugh lines right here. Not so much on my forehead, but just right here. And this one specifically, it just settles in a tiny bit. Kind of gets on my nerves, but it's not that bad. But I mean, like I said, it looks really good at night. It looks really good in pictures. I'm gonna continue to use this. I'm not gonna use this at work. This isn't a good everyday foundation. Like, no. It's a good foundation to go out at night, or if you're just going shopping, not even shopping because it's so thick, and if you're like trying on clothes, like you're gonna get this makeup everywhere on the store's clothes, and that happened to me yesterday, but let's not talk about it. It's just good, honestly, for going out at night, going to a dinner, going to like a bar. That's what I would suggest. Overall, like I said, I'm gonna use this foundation again. I'm not gonna throw it out. I think it's good. Not my everyday foundation, not my work foundation, but it's a good going out at night foundation. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you next time. Bye.